Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Snow Buddies. Yes, it is one of the too many sequels to the Air Bud franchise. Well, if you don't already know, puppies. Puppies somehow are connected to this. Their parents, voiced by Tom Everett Scott and Molly Shannon, by the way, who appear in this, don't seem to be related to Air Bud, I guess. I mean, they're all golden retrievers. It doesn't really matter. I don't think there's meant to be a continuity or a Buddy's cinematic universe. I don't think that's a thing. But, I mean, yes, all the films sort of connect in certain ways. It's the same set of 5 puppies who go on all these adventures. There's spooky buddies. There's space buddies. There's snow buddies. And there's many so many Buddies movies, and you know what, they're not made. I know they're not made for me. I don't like live action dog movies where they animate the mouths. I just don't like it. It's just annoying. And I mean, beyond the other tropey things they throw into the structure. But again, those kind of things are things that appeal to children. And I am not the child. I'm not the audience that this film is intended for. And I understand that. That's just the way it is. But as an adult who might ever be trapped with a child, I have friends who have watched too many of these movies because of their children. No, you're gonna see everything coming a mile away. There's no surprises. If I tell you the plot of the story, in fact, I could literally, you don't even look at this part here, and you could know just by looking at the picture what the plot of this movie is going to be and how it's going to resolve. You know it. It's zero surprises. Only things that surprised me were some of the voice actors that appeared in it. Chris Christopherson shows up in a very small role as the voice of a wise old dog who lives on top of the mountain and just appears at just the right time to train the puppies in order to win the sled dog race with a child. Yeah, that was going to happen. You know that was going to happen. Don't act surprised. This is, and well, of course, they also make a friend with the 6th dog, who's a husky. I forget what his name is. Something, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Your kids will know, but you don't need to retain that information. So yeah, if you can handle just these silly little bits, again, cute, adorable dogs. They're just, puppies. How can you not like puppies? Just silly antics based on each of their personality types. There is the girl one who's just a princess kind of thing, but she's girl power. You can't diminish her. You can't say that she's lesser than any of her brothers. No, she is puppy girl power personified. Girl puppy power, something like that. I don't know. We're not going to get into the logistics of that. There's one that does yoga and is all Buddha. His name is Buddha. Buddy. B-U-D. Buddha. Yeah. You know how it fits together. And there's, maybe it's just Buddy, I'm thinking. I don't know. He's kind of the generic main guy. I don't know. But there is B-Dog, who, honestly, if there's a reason to not like the film, it is B-Dog. Nothing against the actor, the young man who is now hopefully grown out of the role, the young man who voiced it, nothing against him whatsoever. It's just, he's just like this cliche white kid who's appropriated black culture and he just talks all hip-hop and hey dog and hey yo, and me doing it doesn't make it better. doesn't normalize it. It just makes it worse. So yeah, he's just absolutely obnoxious. So yeah, this is all in a world where Nobody seems to notice that these dogs are not on a leash. They're just wandering the towns, whether it's in Washington State or Alaska. They're just running around nowhere. No one caring. Traffic, who knows? But yeah, just a real, hopefully brief explanation of what the story is about. Our heroes, the 5 puppies, who all are owned by, they have a kid who is their own. They all have unique personality types, but they're apparently all certain levels of rich. One kid is like a Richie Rich level rich, and he has Butterball, the one that's sporty but chunky. He eats everything and farts. Yes, if you love fart jokes involving dogs, this is your movie right there. All of the Buddies movies somehow come down to the use of farts in advancing the story. Hey, you know what? We've all seen goofy, mature level college raucous kind of comedies, something with a Belushi in it. Oh wait, this one has Belushi in it. In fact, Jim Belushi plays the Saint Bernard in the Alaskan town, because you got to have a Saint Bernard. So yeah, he's the wise old cop dog. So yeah, I wish that I could say there's like something really redeeming about this. Make me go, you know what? It's not so bad. It's not good. It's not good by any measure, but I'm sure it's entertaining to children. And if kids can sit still and be quiet and go, I enjoyed that. And they just didn't like phase out for an hour and a half, which, by the way, this is an hour and 32 minutes. It's from 2008. Hopefully they can get something out of this. There's a lesson to be learned, working as a team, helping others even when they're mean to you. There's an evil dog sled racer, a grown man who is French. He is just, if he had a mustache, he would be twirling it. He just does all sorts of evil things. At first, I thought he was cutting the lines on the cables that they use for the dog sled race of the child, but the child had not arrived yet at that checkpoint yet. He was doing it to the other adult competitors. He was doing it to the Icelandic woman. Yeah, there's a Japanese guy and an Icelandic woman and a French guy. There's like a real international thing going on here in Alaska, dog racing, but that will, on a technicality, allow a child to compete because he has paperwork that the person in charge of paperwork just ignored. By the way, yeah, there's also a dark story because the husky, and the boy that's his best friend, they're not allowed to race because of what happened with Dad last year. Dad was a racer, a dog sled racer, but the parents of the husky died in a frozen lake. They tell you this. It's not in graphic detail. They don't reenact it, thankfully. But yeah, it comes up in the conversation between the puppies. Yeah, it gets a little fairly dark, and that's the reason why the dad doesn't want the boy out there. The boy really wants to race to be like his dad, and he finds a book of like racing wisdom somehow. I don't know, with all the details he's been teaching himself, and of course, the puppies. Okay, I haven't even gotten to the story yet. Originally, the reason why they're even in Alaska is they accidentally get inside of a crate where there's lots of ice cream. And of course, it's somehow, for some reason, being delivered to Alaska, dropped out of the back of an airplane, and they all survived, and they're not like just broken piles of furry paste at the end. I don't know. They fend for themselves until they meet the husky, and the husky then befriends them, and they decide, you know what, let's do a dog sled race because my human really likes that kind of thing, and I want to do it too. And then they all get training and trick the adults and get to be in the race. And eventually they find out that they're in the race, and there's weather that's the worst weather ever to happen to Alaska. And everybody's like really concerned for like a second, and then the parents and the adults and the people cheering on all this stuff, and the announcer and the medics and the law enforcement, everybody's just like, you know what, this is inspiring. Let's let the kid, he has the paperwork. There's nothing that says he can't in the rules. Let's just let this child and these dogs who've never pulled a sled before, who are so tiny, the fact that they could even pull a sled at all is a miracle. The fact that they wouldn't die within the first 6 minutes. Okay, the first hour is would be, yeah. There's no semblance of reality in this. And again, for somebody to expect that, I realize, that you can't expect this. It all has to be about the spirit of the animals to overcome adversity and work together and prove themselves, but also do good things. Even when the bad guy, his dogs fall in the ice at the point where Husky Dog's parents died a year before, the kid and his dogs pull the other sled and the dogs out of the water using their sled. I know I spoiled that for you, but sorry, 5-year-old who is watching this and is like, should I watch Snow Buddies or not? I'm going to ask this strange man to tell me whether I should see it or not. Sorry, strange 5-year-old who would have watched me before just sitting down in front of the couch after mom and dad put it on Snow Buddies. Yeah, that's also something that does not happen or has ever existed. If you're 5 and you're watching me, just watch the movie, or don't. That's the better choice. I'm gonna say watch Star Wars. Watch all the Star Wars stuff, all of it. Just watch it, good or bad, in anybody's opinion. Don't let the adults screw it up for you. Go watch the Star Wars stuff. Have fun. Marvel stuff. Have fun. Princesses. Have fun. Do it. Pixar's awesome. Do all that stuff. Yeah, but if you like dogs, sure, go for it. It's your life. It's your life. Just do that. But lots of interesting voices throughout this. But Whoopi Goldberg shows up as a cat at some point. Richard Karn is one of the parents from Home Improvement. Al, not Al, but the best friend. Chris Christopherson blew my mind. It's just, I found that just wild that he was in this. Liliana Mooney plays Buttercup, I guess, with the girl puppy. She's the daughter of Billy Mooney from Lost in Space. So just I think she's done that voice for that character through all the films. I'm pretty sure I see her voice show up, and she's a longtime Disney voiceover kid, and probably she's done some live action stuff too. The Moomies. Anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode. Okay. 195. Well, I don't have to. Okay, it's 100, almost 100 different. 195. Oh, okay, the 190s. All right, it's a. This falls in the Marvel realm, but it's not a movie or a series. Well, it's sort of a series, but it's one of those documentaries that looks at all the different films and series throughout Marvel. And I almost made this just a single thing, like watched one of these, and we've watched all of them, but I want to watch every single one of them at some point. So I decided, you know what, let's just keep them all, I'll keep them all separate, and we will watch them as they are selected at some point. Some go back many, many years, but this one is from just last year. This is one of the more recent episodes of Marvel Studios Assembled. We're watching Marvel Studios Assembled, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So, yeah, it should be fun. I want to see how Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was made. James Gunn's final film in the MCU, as far as we know. He's busy with DC now. Anyway, that's what we're watching tomorrow. Marvel Studios Assembled, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.